In a quiet corner of the city stood an old library. Few people visited it, but it was a haven for those who loved books, a place where they could lose themselves in the scent of worn paper and the silence of endless shelves. One cold winter afternoon, Nem, a young man freshly graduated from university, stepped into the library. In his hand was a list of books recommended by friends. Nem was always impatient. He wanted results fast. To him, reading a book was like running a race. The quicker he finished, the better. He chose a massive book with thousands of pages, placed it on a wooden table, and began to flip through. His fingers turned the pages rapidly, his eyes skimming lines without stopping, his mind absorbing nothing. Not far away sat an old man, thin, with white hair and kind eyes behind round glasses. He had worked in the library for decades, bound to its smell of ink and time. He watched Nem for a while, then finally spoke. "What are you reading, young man?" Nem looked up, slightly surprised. I'm reading a famous novel. People say it's great, so I want to get through it quickly and move on to the next one." The old man nodded slowly, a gentle smile on his lips. "And have you remembered anything from the pages you've just turned?" Nem froze. He searched his memory, but found nothing, only scattered words. At last, he gave an awkward laugh. "Maybe, not yet." The old man's eyes softened, serious yet warm. "You see, life is much like a thick book. The lazy flip through quickly, but when they close it, nothing remains. The wise, however, read slowly, pausing to reflect. That way, every page becomes a memory, a lesson, an experience worth keeping." Nem fell silent. Inside him, it felt like a bell had been struck. He saw himself in the old man's words. All those years spent racing for grades, achievements, and goals that society had set, yet he had never truly paused to live. After a long moment, Nem asked quietly, "Then, how do I read slowly without feeling like I'm wasting time?" The old man chuckled, sipping his tea. "Time is never wasted when you live it fully. It is wasted only when you pass it by. Reading one page deeply, understanding it, is worth more than racing through 10 books and remembering nothing. Life is the same, my boy." Nem bowed his head. The words sank into him like rain into dry earth. He turned back to the book, this time reading the very first page with care. At first, it felt strange, but soon he noticed how each sentence carried weight, how each word seemed to breathe. From that day forward, Nem changed. Not only his way of reading books, but his way of living. He began to walk home instead of rushing for the bus, to eat meals with his mother without glancing at his phone, to listen fully to his friends before speaking. Years passed. Nem found a stable career and eventually became a university lecturer. Even with a busy life, he kept his habit of reading each night, and above all, of living slowly, savoring moments instead of racing past them. One day, while teaching, a student raised a hand and asked, "Professor, how can we succeed quickly in life?" Nem looked at the young man, and in him saw his younger self, restless, impatient, desperate to find shortcuts. He smiled gently. "Do you know, life is like a book. If you turn the pages too quickly, you'll miss the important parts. But if you stop, read slowly, reflect, then every page will stay with you forever." Success doesn't come from speed. It comes from understanding and cherishing each step. The classroom fell silent. Only the sound of chalk scratching against the board remained. In Nem's eyes shone a quiet peace. He knew at last he had truly learned how to read the book of his own life.